This is H.O.G.S, a game I've been working on for a little over a year. I've been developing H.O.G.S during my free time, but now that I've finished college, I hope to treat H.O.G.S as my full-time job. That, of course, depends on if I can secure funding, but that's a topic for another time. So what is H.O.G.S? Well, H.O.G.S, aka the Homeland Operation for General Security, is an institution which specializes in the brutal suppression of any and all who oppose the singular state's absolute will. Among the few remaining departments is the Eastern Branch, H.O.G.S East, located within the urban disaster playfully referred to as Runt's Litter. This is where we find our protagonist. You are an agent. Your job description calls it malleability management, but in truth, you're a sanctioned killer, a one-pig army sent to crush any insurgent groups that emerge within the city. I really want H.O.G.S to feel immersive, so I've given the player a few ways to interact with the environment. My first instinct was to add a kick ability, which serves both as a fun tool in combat and as a way to break obstacles or even launch doors at unsuspecting enemies. But by far my favorite use for kicking, in fact the whole reason I added it in the first place, is so that enemies could kick over furniture to use it as cover. I want to add all sorts of dynamic AI behavior like this because it makes enemies seem much more intelligent and keeps you guessing what they'll do next. Along with kicking, I've also allowed the player to grab and throw objects. This can obviously be used to lob boxes at enemies, but my hope is that the system could be used to add a smattering of neat mechanics and interactions throughout the game, such as throwing burning objects to light other objects on fire or using a prop as a shield to block enemy bullets. But before I can start adding these interactions, there's another more pressing issue I need to address. I've been using Godot's built-in 3D tile feature to create the levels so far. This tool is great for making levels very quickly, but I'm unhappy with how rigid and repetitive it makes levels feel. So my plan is to finish adding some other systems I want in the game, such as level select and competitive leaderboards. Once I'm done that, I'm going to experiment with making levels in Blender by just modeling it manually. And that's where you come in. I want to host a public playtest in which for a week or so, you'll be able to play some of these new levels. These test levels will experiment with different mechanics and scenarios to see which ones work and which ones don't. The results of this will influence how I design the final campaign levels, as well as what alterations I make to the base gameplay, and even what kinds of enemies I think will work in the game. And this is how I want to go about development from now on, because I think the only way H.O.G.S will reach its full potential is if I get help from the community to figure out what works best. But I've still got a bit to go before I'm ready to have players test my game, so it may be a few months before I'm ready for a playtest. Although I won't be hosting this playtest for a while, there's already two ways in which you can get involved with development. First of all, I've got a store page on Steam, so go wishlist the game if you think it looks cool. Additionally, I've made a Discord server you can join where I'll be posting regular updates and interacting with the community, so if you really want to show your support, go there. That's also where I'll be organizing the playtest in the future. And if neither of those options suit your fancy, I've also got a site formerly known as Twitter account, @Varpyg, and a Reddit account, Varpyg@Reddit, that you can follow. But one way or another, thank you all for checking out my game and watching my video. I plan to post more video devlogs like this, as well as shorts, so subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to see more.